Full Force Festival 2022, and I'm really, really excited to have Caleb from Beartooth here. Hey, Caleb.
What's up? What's up?
How are you? How are you feeling? I think this is the last show of your tour. You just mentioned. You're getting your flights tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel fucking amazing. Honestly, I could keep going if we had more shows.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately it's the end of the tour, but it's great. I mean, this has been our first time in Europe since COVID, so like it feels amazing. Okay. Yeah, you know, we were supposed to be over here doing other stuff. We had to reschedule a bunch of things, but to just be able to actually be here and play shows. I mean, I'm sure I'm saying what almost everybody else has said, but it's real, you know, it means a lot. Like it's very special. Like I don't want it to end, but yeah, it's good.
But I think you also would like to fly back home and then enjoy your time after that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to go home, obviously, to, you know, see my wife and my dog and my family and friends, and, you know, I have some things to do at home, but I don't know, I just love playing shows. And, like, playing shows, especially Europe festivals, absolutely incredible.
Would you say that something has changed in the last 2 years with your way enjoying home or going on tours? So is there something like what completely changed for you?
I wouldn't say anything completely changed. I mean, I've always loved touring. You know, I've been touring for a long time. A lot, full time. And it's a big part of my life and always will be. And yeah, it's great. But I think what, you know, the last 2 years made us realize as touring musicians and just anybody who tours in general is that, you know, cherish it while you have it, because you never know what's going to happen with it. Yeah. And that's for sure, I think, like, I'm just trying to be a bit more present in the moment on tour in my life. It's very easy for tour to become kind of just monotonous, and it's the same schedule every day, the same thing every day. You just kind of get like lost, and it's hard to kind of
doing interviews, getting the same questions in each city.
It's kind of hard to like stay in the moment and be like, oh, what festival was that again? But like, you know, I'm trying to just make sure that every single festival, I'm really cherishing every moment, because I mean, it's an absolutely incredible thing that we get to do, you know?
Yeah, and I think this is really one of the learnings I heard from many people from the music industry, just saying, enjoy the moments, because this is one of the biggest learnings.
Yeah, and it goes so fast. Yeah. I mean, it sounds so corny, but it's true. It flies by, you know? It feels like we started this tour yesterday. But, you know what I mean? It's like, for real, it does. And it just flies by, and I'm like, oh, wow, it's over. Like, holy shit. But yeah, it's good to be back. Great to be back.
Good to see you here. I'm very excited for your show later on.
Yes.
We just had a talk with the Ghost Inside, with Zach and Andrew.
Fuck yeah.
And they said that especially for them, it was very hard to see. It wasn't hard, but it was like very interesting. I would say hard, perhaps also hard. It was very interesting to see, like they were stopping at the point because they were not able to do music, and and all. Then COVID also hit it hard, and then they mentioned a band like Beartooth, which was getting so big in that time, and bringing that also to the COVID part in the last 2 years. There were bands, they're still constantly growing and still had so much attention and getting more and more listeners, more and more fans, and other bands like completely
stopped. Yeah, it does happen. I mean, it was a crazy thing. I mean, that band specifically, like, I go really far back with the Ghost Inside. You know, my first band, Attack, we toured with the Ghost Inside. The Ghost Inside was the first band that ever took Beartooth on tour.
Cool.
First tour we ever did was, it was like 2 or 3 weeks in a van, and it was with the Ghost Inside. Like, that band means a lot to me. So, you know, obviously, as I'm sure with everybody, it was devastating to see what happened. But as gnarly as it was, and I'm sure they'd say the same thing, like, it feels good to see them just killing it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And they're doing
coming back and, like, you know, I saw them for the first time since they've started playing shows again in Italy. And it was just surreal. I woke up that morning, and just like any other morning, I walked out walked out of the bus and was just kind of looking around, and I heard them sound checking, and I haven't. It's been so long since I've seen the Ghost Inside do anything, and it just felt like I was transported to 2012 or 2011 or something. It was just so surreal and bizarre, but I was so happy, to like. They just sound so good. And they're just such a good band, and to hear them after all of the stuff they've been through, and to just. It's just the same as I remember. You know what I mean? It's better. It's
I think it's better.
It is better. They've somehow, through all of the crazy stuff thrown at them, managed to continue to become a better band.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, that's what it's about. And obviously, I think COVID is kind of like a smaller scale thing, of like, to them, COVID was just kind of like icing on the cake. It's like they already went through. You can't really go through anything crazier than what they went through as a band.
Yeah, totally.
So like to see them go through that, and then have to go through COVID, and then come back and still just like they're just consistently were getting better in their time off. And I think that's something that like maybe people haven't realized, is that like they've been working so hard to get to where they are now.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've earned it. You know what I mean? It's an unbelievable show, and they're just better than ever.
Yeah, that there are. But the thing I would like to ask you is like, Beartooth, for example, was a band that also has gained a lot of new fans in the last 2 years. So you released your record Below. You released a new version, the deluxe version, with a real big live set on it, and and there's still the upcoming tour, the Below tour, which is taking place 2023. So how is it for you? Like, is it the chapter? Is it done, or will?
I mean, it's hard for me to say things without giving too much away, but there is like new stuff that is happening. Like, we don't stop, you know what I mean?
You're always writing new music.
Yeah, I'm always working and I'm always writing. And one thing that I felt was important with COVID and with what happened, especially with our band, and at least this is just one person's opinion, but in my opinion, with what happened during COVID, I felt like it meant listeners, specifically so Below, people had nothing but time to just sit at home and listen to that record and process it and internalize it and whatever. So it's like, I didn't want to just put that record out and then it's just like, well, here you go. Like, we're going to do nothing for 2 years, nothing new.
Yeah, and it's definitely a grower, the record. So I know it for me. I heard it the first time, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's different.
if you listen to it multiple times, so I was like, oh, fuck, it grows. So great record.
So, but even then, it's like, it's just people are going to be digesting that so fast.
Yeah.
And I want to be keeping up with them as I'm keeping up with myself. You know what I mean? I'm writing and I'm working on new stuff. And before Below was released, I was working on new music.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're definitely about to move into a new chapter as our band, and it may not be a whole new album, which actually was going around the internet for a while because of something I sort of missaid in an interview.
So give us the right information. We can spread it everywhere.
Well, the right information that all people need to know is there's some new stuff coming, and it's going to be really cool. And we're trying to just like, I don't know, we're just trying to keep up. We're trying to like just keep people involved in the Beartooth process and more like on time with how we are working in real time.
So I guess you will release more singles for a longer time, because this is the thing most of the bands realized, especially in the last 2 years, releasing singles in a continuously like 6 to 8 weeks rhythm.
Right. Is singles is definitely a more modern thing that I think is really cool, and I think it's very interesting. And don't get me wrong, like, Beartooth will be putting out another album. It's when we put out that album is what I think people misinterpreted. It's probably gonna take a minute for that to be ready. The album itself as a whole is not done, but the whole concept and a lot of the pieces of that puzzle are finished that we're about to start rolling out, which is really exciting.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool, and but it does make things different when, like you were saying, we have a tour that has been branded as the Below tour because it kept getting pushed back in March. Yeah, it's like we're gonna have more than just Below when that tour comes around. You know what I mean? There will be. Don't get me wrong. We'll play all the hits off of Below that people wanted to hear, but it's even then. There's gonna be more. You know.
Yeah, that sounds quite interesting. Looking at your support, I think we had Straight from the Path and Motionless in White.
Fuck yeah.
Was it your choice or like just
for sure. I mean, us as like a band, you know, and our team.
Yeah, sure.
So Motionless in White, you know, we did a co-headline tour in the United States, and it was incredible. I mean, they have become so close to us and like just such a great band. They're an incredible band, and they were down. You know, they wanted to come out on this Europe tour with us, and they were super cool, and we couldn't be happier with them. And then same with the Straight from the Path. You know, I've known those guys for a really long time, and they're another great band that, you know, we think it is incredibly important as a band that we choose our support, and that it makes the entire show great from start to finish. It's really important to us, you know, who we pick. It's not just like some manager or some booking agent just says, you're going to take this band. We don't do that. You know, I don't think, and not many bands do, you know what I mean? It's very important to us to like have a great lineup, and Motionless and Stray are top tier.
And I think that the tour is very, very cool from the setting with this support. Motionless and White getting so much attention with their new record, which is so fucking good.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, I got to be on that record, which is really exciting.
So many different songs on it, which are so like, fuck, they're good, and the different styles.
That's what they do, man. They're great.
I think that's the same with Beartooth. Like you're always trying to get the range to widen the range of sounds you do.
Yeah, and, absolutely.
Let me just ask you one question about the things coming up next. Is there something you want? Is there perhaps an influence or just a sound you really would like to play? Because thinking about Bring Me the Horizon in the last years, they said, okay, we want to make a harder record and then a more pop punky record or something. Would you say there's like something you want to challenge with?
It's hard to say this without just giving away what the new stuff's gonna be like.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Honestly, there are so many different. The way I'll put it is, for me, as I think a lot of bands say this about, you know, a record, but like, so I'll use Below for example.
Yeah.
Below is a dark, doom, heavy metal record. You know what I mean? It's evil. It's angry. There's no happiness, no hope. It's just anger.
And I think the deluxe cover is showing it better than the first one.
Right, you know what I mean? It's just intense. The new stuff, and Below, that's what I was going through in my life. You know what I mean? And that's why that record was that way. Because with every Beartooth record, I just write about what I'm going through.
Sure.
But I've been going through a lot of changes as a person and as an artist, a performer, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And this new stuff reflects that. Like, there's just a lot more to it. There's a lot more. If I'm writing something poppy, it's gonna be fucking pop. You know what I mean? If I'm writing something heavy, it's gonna be fucking ripping heavy.
Yeah, sure.
It's like I'm not trying to back off anything anymore or like mold anything to feel a certain way. It's just intensity is just turning it up. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, with the new thing that's gonna be dropping at some point in the near future.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason it is the way it is. You know, it's kind of meant to be like get fucking ready because shit's about to change for us.
That sounds very, very cool. And sorry for asking you that.
No,
and
of course. I mean, this is what interviews are for.
Yeah, and I guess it's always hard to say there will be something, but I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give it away like a ton of what it is, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling like a lot more positive, a lot more energetic, a lot more happy, and a lot more driven to like experiment with new things and just try and push further, and also like tap into a lot of songwriting roots that I haven't tapped into in a while.
Okay,
you know,
cool.
it was like I think something that people always say about Beartooth is it's kind of like got poppy choruses. That's like a phrase people use.
Really?
Is the poppy chorus, which is true. And like for me, growing up, you know, with songwriting, pop has always been one of my main influences.
Sure.
So like, same with heavy metal, same with whatever. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's just, if I'm doing something, I'm fucking doing it all the way, and I'm not backing off. And that's kind of like the energy with this newer stuff. Is it's just it's Beartooth. It's very blatantly like Beartooth's music. I'm not just like, here's a dance record with, you know, or whatever. But like, it's just everything fucking amplified, you know? I'm just trying to go as far as I can go in whatever direction.
And I'm very, very excited to hear that.
It's cool. I like it. I'm curious to see what people think.
Let's say it's 50%. If you like it, and perhaps all the other people listen to the music, I'm very, very excited to hear what's coming up. And I'm very, very excited for your new tour coming up next year. This will be huge. I guess it's so big.
It'll be rad. We get to play bigger shows than we've ever played, and
really,
we're gonna bring the fucking heat.
Yeah. So we've seen you on the Rock am Ring show. It was amazing. So I'm very excited to see you here at the Full Force Festival.
Fuck yeah! I mean, and like I was saying, this is our last show of the tour. So like, I'm leaving everything I have on that fucking stage.
Okay, later on we just need to tear you out from the stage.
Yeah, just fucking take a shovel and just scrape me off.
Caleb, thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you, like always. I wish you an amazing show. If you guys not subscribing our channel, you know the game. Subscribe, use the bell, all the stuff you need to do. Go on MoreCore.TV. If you're reading German, then you're able to go on MoreCore.TV. Otherwise, buy tickets for the show. Listen to the new Beartooth record and the new singles coming up. Thank you very much. Thank you, Caleb.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye-bye.